right. Start us off right, cut. Come on.
All right, bro. Everyone ready?
Let me stop clipping my nails, bitch.
Because I got y'all on the clip right now.
Open sesame, nigga.
Open sesame, he says. All right. Welcome to the Story and Podcast. I'm your host, Wilson. We got Terry in this bitch, Nick in this bitch, Michael in this bitch, Mario B, who's also just Steve us, but he just refuses to change his name. And yeah, first topic for today is going to be Jujitsu Kisen versus Attack on Titan. And I'm gonna let the weebs handle that because that's not my realm. Y'all got that. What's better, Attack on Titan, Jujitsu?
A quick shout out. I want to do a quick shout out to Nick. This man didn't see a single episode before. I want to say this week started.
Wednesday.
Yes, bro. 3 days ago, that nigga.
Just so that, well, obviously he wanted to see it, but just so he can talk about it here with us. So
that for real. That's a grind.
Big shout out to my dog here. So actually, I want to hear Nick's point of view first, more than anybody's, about Jujutsu Kaisen. He already was obviously watching Attack on Titan. Most of us have watched Attack on Titan, but I want to see what Nick's point of view is and like which one he thinks is better or like the more hotter show.
What was yours, boss?
All right. Well.
That boy froze.
What? It was sad. I've never had the floor before. A glass.
Hey, yo, bro. The mannequin challenge
I'm
is
of
like...
mind that, like, it's a little difficult to compare these two shows because they're pretty...
Hey, yo, all right.
Shit is lagging.
That's some serious lag.
Hello, Nick.
Nick?
Hold on.
Oh, yeah, you lagging,
someone
man.
else...
Shit, I'll take the floor real quick.
Yeah, take the floor, Terry.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the floor real quick. Well, in terms of which one I think is better, I think overall, since Attack on Titan is closer to being done, I'm gonna say it's better for now. So because it's a plot has like flourished. We've already been through the struggle with all these characters, you know what I'm saying? We've already seen everything, all that spectacle shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's like Attack on Titan already has its full portfolio of what it is as a show in our face already, so that's why I got to give it the edge for now. But the way Jujutsu Kaisen is trending, if it can keep this pace, I think it could eclipse Attack on Titan, because like from all the whispers I hear from like the manga and shit, like this show is going to take that next step real soon, and we're only like a third of the way through it. So that's why I think as of right now, Attack on Titan is the better story, but because Jujutsu Kaisen still needs time to develop and mature into the masterpiece that I think it's going to be. That's what I got.
How long has Jujutsu Kaisen been around for?
It came out
in October. The anime came out in October of last year, and the manga came out in 2018.
So the manga's been for a while, for a little bit, and for an anime to really get, or for a manga to really get an anime, you have to have at least about 2 years, because Shonen Jump's real quick to like cut off anime that's like not doing too hot. So I'm glad that it was good enough to keep going. And obviously it had 1 million I think copies sold like last year, and then now with this explosion of the animation bump of like 7 million or like 6 million, some change. So it's
wild.
So,
happy birthday to the creator too. That man is a fucking goat. 29 years old, bro.
That's crazy. How like when did Attack on Titan come out? Like 6th grade?
That was
2013.
Yeah,
the manga came out before that, a little bit before that, but
that's
anime
crazy.
came out.
Say that Jujutsu Kaisen has had probably Attack on Titan was huge when it first dropped. It was mentally huge. But Jujutsu Kaisen has had a very huge, like a lot of love for it exploded off immediately, because and it was also in a season where like we had just come off of like God of High School and Tower of God, and people were saying, hey, if you want fights, because everyone said God of High School is just basically fights. So they said if you want fights that's better than God of High School, but like so a way better story, at least how the
developed characters.
And so that's how it started to build up hype, and it's built on a very big hype train. But AOT obviously has like the 4 seasons of continuous storytelling to be at its advantage, for it to be like, oh, Jujutsu Kaisen versus like AOT, this is a discussion. So it does have that big advantage. But I'm trying to like, maybe get like a little bit of a common ground here. Because it's hard. It's obviously hard to compare the two. It is, because it's obviously doing two different things. But obviously, I'll definitely say like AOT is the bigger one at the moment because it is literally the biggest show in America. Like it is. It's not even like a
Yeah, that shit surpassed everything.
Fucking SpongeBob, my nigga. Like SpongeBob, bro.
You're not SpongeBob, you doing something right. You know what I'm saying? Because
This man Divas watched Attack on Titan.
Niggas who we thought would never watch the show.
Look, Nickelodeon can't wait to throw SpongeBob at you every day. So you know if you beating out SpongeBob, you doing something right. So I'll definitely say LT is the biggest show, but Jujutsu Kaisen, in my opinion, is going to be like right there, real soon. But like I was talking about Jujutsu Kaisen and
Attack on Titan.
But like, and now another anime that's basically number one right now, even surpassing One Piece, is Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
I got the opportunity to watch the movie Demon Slayer today because only in Miami, it seems like, and the tickets were gone immediately. But like, yeah, it's only gonna in the states. It's shit that handling COVID. Probably won't be having a theatrical release for a long time, but they want to get their release out so they can like try and contend for the Oscars. So they're having a very select few release. In like very select cities. I have no idea where the other ones are. All I know is that I was lucky enough to be in Florence State College that is slapped right there in Miami. So it was hard to just get, hey, you can get the tickets and you can go out early and try and catch it. And going to see that
Someone's
movie.
computer fan, bro.
What? Someone's shit is on airplane mode right now. Okay? PS4 mode right now.
Oh, it was just Nick.
All right, it's not him. That shit quiet. That'd be someone else. But yeah, so going to see the movie. I mean, like, look. Usually when you go see, this isn't like those movies where you went to and you're just like, oh, let's just catch a movie. Everyone there was going for a reason. We all knew what we were here to see. We all knew, you know, the show that we're watching. Basically, it's just like a bunch of like Weaves and Demon Slayer fans coming together to watch a movie. And it's, if I did to put a comparison to how it was in the theater, if anybody has seen Avengers or those big Marvel movies where it's basically stadiums, or probably the Dragon Ball movie, the last like 2 or 3 Dragon Ball movies, that's how it was. A lot of cheering, a lot of emotional moments, tearing up. But it was honestly a great experience, and it's really made me miss going to the movie theaters because like you honestly can't beat those experiences when you're with a group of people that like love the same thing that you're watching and you're all watching it together, and like y'all all understand to get hyped when to get hyped, but when to shut up when you gotta shut up, you know, when people are talking. So honestly, it was a good experience. I don't even have to say if it's good or not. Everyone knows the movie's good. The animation's phenomenal. Ufotable did a phenomenal job.
Still haven't watched it.
And anybody, if you have a chance, even if you have to rip quality out of it, you should go see it or have the opportunity to see it because it's honestly greatly animated, and that's my 2 cents about it.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if Nick's ready, but
yeah, I really wanted to get Nick's point.
Which is better, Attack on Titan or not Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen? That was the original question.
Yeah.
All right. So.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah. So I think that both are incredibly hyped up right now, but I'm pretty sure that Attack. Is there something wrong?
You
good, man.
All right. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that Attack on Titan, just because it's more established, like it's about to end, and it's like at its climax, I think that it's still better. It just broke a record. It like beat SpongeBob for the most watched TV show in the U.S., which is crazy. Jujutsu Kaisen is amazing, but it's just starting out, so I don't think that it can really compete just yet. But it is a phenomenal show, 100%. But we only got 19 episodes, 20 today.
If we were to look at both shows, and although Attack on Titan is better, you know, it's farther along the way. If you were to give something to Jujutsu Kaisen that they do better than Attack on Titan, what would it be? And we'll start with Nick, go to Michael, and then we'll end with me.
Something that they do better
than Attack on Titan.
I'm not sure if it would be fair, but I mean, the power system is more interesting than the Titan shifters, I guess. But just because it's more diverse, and there's a lot of interesting, unique abilities that are pretty inventive for like a typical battle shonen. So I think the power system is something that Jujutsu Kaisen does better.
All right, bet. Michael, what do you think? That Jujutsu
Steven's
Kaisen
not
is
gonna
better?
say anything.
I have no idea, bro. That nigga's the Golden Gate Bridge right now.
Yeah, it's right. Like what the fuck?
Fire his shit up.
For me, so obviously, a lot of people are going to be comparing season 4 to Jujutsu Kaisen right now. They're going to say the easy cop out would be the animation would be better. But I think that's a little bit too easy of a cop out because obviously Attack on Titan before had had good animation, and right now the animation is still good. It's just that they were rushed and had to put in some more CGI than probably they even wanted to. So I'm not gonna really take that caveat. What I'm gonna take from Jujutsu Kaisen is like, even though AOT does this really good as well, I really fought with Jujutsu Kaisen's ability to make you care about other characters that aren't your like normal 3. So like you have a normal 3 that like is gonna be the standard 3 you're probably gonna see for like most of the series. But then you have everybody else that like you honestly want to see their interactions and how they talk as like regular human beings. Like you don't really, especially in like a battle shonen, you don't always get that. You know what I'm saying? Like in Dragon Ball, right? We all love Goku and Vegeta, but like if like Goku, Vegeta, or even Piccolo's not talking, like Krillin, I can understand, but like when Yamcha starts talking, like, I don't care, man. Like go move on. Like in Naruto, right? Even though Naruto started off really well, it obviously became like the Naruto Sasuke show. And then like hearing about other characters. So like this is like honestly one of the best, if not the best, like I think I've seen a battle shonen really make you care for not only just like the main 3 or like the main group, but like the rest of the groups as well. Where like you want to like we're sitting here talking about like I can't wait to see this guy's talking about fish and like basically fish chips, like he's saying like very little and you want to like see him just like continue like talking. There's a literal and in the show, all love them half the time. Like how they're, and it's not just like they're all trying to do the same like thing. Like sometimes how like they'll do like the Marvel effect of like they'll always try and be like, oh, this quirky, funny type character for every single person, so that they'll be more likable or relatable. Everyone has like their own different personality, and like it's able to just click together as like a group of people. You see how people can like and dislike each other, and like you see how like you may not like this character, but he's still a like goodly written character, and there's another character that may not like or dislike the character that you connect with. Like I think everybody's gonna find somebody that they fuck with, and like not only that, but like that character won't be like I fuck with him, but like I have to like damn near like scour the whole season for like a couple of interactions. I think everybody's gonna have like an interaction, and like not just like one token interaction that you have to take, but like they're just normal people basically, and like I fuck with that.
Yeah,
that's a really good point.
Yeah, my point was kind of along the lines of characters too. Like the character interaction is obviously just phenomenal in Jujutsu Kaisen, and like I think just kind of along that line, it's like Attack on Titan has a cast of characters we all know, we all fuck with. You know what I'm saying? They develop them really well, and you know what I'm saying? They make you feel what the character is feeling. But with Attack on Titan, it's like, as of right now, Attack on Titan is a massive cast of characters. So it's like they can't really go into and like really let you get to know like a lot of these characters, although we know a good amount. I'm not knocking Attack on Titan for this, but like the way Jujutsu Kaisen, they literally took an arc, just like the last couple of episodes, to just develop everyone that we know and seen, and it's just kind of like it makes you really like fall in love with these characters, and like I'm starting to get kind of like the feeling that like they're really buttering us up with these characters just to start picking them off, because they already did that with I can't really, I'm not gonna say his name, but if you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you know they introduce a character, build you up, butter you up, you're like, oh yeah, I really fuck with this man, you know what I'm saying? And then boom, gone.
The intro like lied to us, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Just gone. They just rip them right from you, and then that's what I think Jujutsu Kaisen is going to try to do with like the rest of these main characters that we already love, because they did in one episode. They developed these characters really quickly, got you really enthralled with them, and now they can start showing you like, oh yeah, this world is real. Just like Attack on Titan does, but like I feel like they do it slightly better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was gonna like go back to like how like in the opening, right? If you watch Jujutsu Kaisen, you know, but like they basically lied to us for about like 15 episodes, making us
a good 14.
14.
And like you know,
Lied to us.
certain characters are able to like stay in, and certain characters didn't have to end up making it out. And like also, I really like how like in the opening kept evolving when they're adding more and more people and more things that you found out about. Like,
Your mic is.
Well, your mic getting kind of quiet, cuz.
You sound like you're underwater, bro.
oh my bad.
You're good now.
You're good now. You can keep. Yeah.
I was saying that like wait, did you hear y'all heard?
Dude, we heard what you said. It was just loud.
Yeah, it was just getting quiet.
Yeah. Just real quick before we move on to the next topic, like that, like I realized, like yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, I think their biggest strength is actually characters, because they avoid a lot of pitfalls from like previous big shows of their nature, like Naruto, for instance. Like Michael pointed out, huge blunders. Like fan favorites like Rock Lee and Shikamaru just got pushed completely to the side, and Shippuden, they never got moments outside of filler. And it's like you have these stellar characters that you spent so much time developing in part 1, and then you just completely discard them and make it the Naruto and Sasuke show. It's kind of whack. And like Jujutsu Kaisen, I like that they're not afraid to pull punches. Like I'm glad that it's not like, oh, it's like the power of friendship like will overcome anything. Like we're all gonna survive in the end. Like no, like it's not like that. There's there's a bit more realism to it. So
yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen and Attack on Titan really do that well, where it's like, yeah, this is a fucked up world, so not everyone's gonna make it. And I really appreciate that, especially in Jujutsu Kaisen case, because like Attack on Titan, although Jujutsu Kaisen is fantastical and shit, Attack on Titan is a more fantasy world with like you expect more people to die. But what is Jujutsu Kaisen? Just an urban settings, regular city that just happens to kind of be like what people would think shit is kind of like now. And then when you see niggas just disappear like that out of nowhere, it's like, oh yeah, this shit is real.
They also do Jujutsu Kaisen also does and we're talking about Jujutsu Kaisen here. I don't want to like make like AOT fans feeling like, oh, we're all Jujutsu Kaisen fans. We literally
love AOT
right now. We've had deep conversations about AOT, but it's just that we gotta give Jujutsu Kaisen some props because AOT is like the hype thing right now. But even though Jujutsu Kaisen has hyped this shit as well, AOT is like everywhere. Like niggas who like don't even watch anime watch AOT. But like what I'm talking about Jujutsu Kaisen is that they're really good like making the villains like you actually feel threatened by them. Like there's a scene, and if you know, you'll know there's a scene where a villain comes, he's basically in like a restaurant, and like the sequence of events after that was so like you hoped and prayed certain things happen. Some things do, some things don't, and it sucks. But it also able to hype up like, the heroes and like other characters to shit where like they're like good, but they're not like, oh, there's absolutely zero way to like beat them or anything like that. Like they've made throughout the series as it goes on like new things to introduce. Like, all right, this is like a weakness to certain characters, or this is a weakness to other people, or this is how this and this goes, and this is why this character is so good at what like he does. So like I'm really like how we said the power system is so like I want to say like I won't just say it's well balanced, but it's just like well made.
Yeah.
So it's because you can easily go crazy with anything that you're saying. Like when you simply just like talk about the things that they're able to do, you could easily start going to the realm of like, well, these guys are gonna be smashing planets within a couple of seconds. But like they're so good at like some things, like you can like they'll be able to keep up with, my opinion, they'll be able to keep up with like any planet buster from other like shows or animes, but like they're like not overpoweredly broken to the point of like, oh, they're just cut like that where like they raise their arm and like half the city explodes. Like
Dragon Ball.
Everybody needs that, you know. Like Dragon Ball has done that. Dragon Ball has done that, and like we understand how Dragon Ball is able to do that because they sort of established that really early. Like we don't need shows to just like start off like grounded like they have, and then out of nowhere be like, yeah, these niggas blowing up cities now. Yeah. Or they cutting mountains, like they cutting mountains like in half, or like
with their teeth cut with the
like buildings and nothing happens to them, like, you know.
Please.
All right. Before we move on to the next topic, because he hasn't gotten a chance to speak, sorry, Thievis, you can unmute yourself. You don't have to stay muted, my guy. I want you to answer the initial question of which is better, Attack on Titan or Jujutsu Kaisen.
Golden Gate Bridge face set. I'm about to fire
Yeah.
Jit up.
Join in on the discussion. I know that like said their piece, but like I want actual like discussion. Like when someone says something, like if you have like a rebuttal to it, like you can say something to it. That type of way. Debate the only way.
Debate.
Pretty sure everyone covered everything. Honestly, Jujitsu is better than AOT, and like in a way, like AOT's time is basically done. Like there's no new season that's gonna drop. It's coming to its end. It's peak. It happened, but it's gonna start going on a decline, and so then Jujitsu is gonna take over in my opinion, at least, because they do have better animations. The characters I prefer it more than AOT, and overall it's just all better. It's just.
I mean, it's obviously subjective, but like I can understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I definitely see it.
I personally keep falling off because there most likely is going to be a part 2. Because if we're going by like how the manga is, they're probably going to like take a break for a little bit, then go back to a part 2. So I still think they're going to be like in the peak for like this year. But I definitely understand you're saying like after this, like it's done. This story's finished. I still think Jujutsu Kaisen is going to explode, but I still think it's probably going to be second to Demon Slayer because Demon Slayer is just so hyped. And like once Demon Slayer comes back into like season, it'll probably be like number one because the manga took over from One Piece, and One Piece has never not been number one in not just shonen, but it's manga in general since we started recording this. That's that. So,
all right. My question is though, in terms of anime, because it's just had a boom in the past couple of years. Because what the fuck, this meeting will end in 10 minutes.
The fuck? Go add extended time like you used to. Like
it says you have to upgrade to pro. What the fuck? I'm not upgrading.
What the
fuck? All right, but no, my question is when do you think like networks such as like Cartoon Network, I know they have in the past, but like Nickelodeon especially, when they're gonna invest in like having an anime on their channel to like revive their viewership? Because like since SpongeBob was surpassed in viewership by like AOT, like I'm pretty sure they feel some type of way like maybe we should get on the train, like the hype train of let's put an anime on our broadcasting.
The problem I think with that is, especially with like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, because I think since Cartoon Network had already done it before, they definitely can do it if they so want to, if they get desperate enough. But I think the thing was like shit like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel, they've kind of put themselves in that hole of being family friendly, kid friendly type shit. So it's like there's definitely anime that fall in that category, but like they can't take the big boys onto their networks unless they make an alternate network that's under their name to do that. And if they're willing to spend that money, that's cool. They can fucking do that because that would it's the smart thing to do. It's just like it's a lot of rebranding that would have to go into that solely because shit like Attack on Titan is never gonna fly on Nickelodeon. Never let that shit happen. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? If they're willing to, you know what I'm saying? If they're willing to put that money in to make like how Cartoon Network and Adult Swim kind of work. If they were willing to put that money in to put like another like a branch for anime, they definitely should because you know what I'm saying. But I think like because like with Crunchyroll and Funimation about to merge really pretty soon, I feel like a new unique streaming service is just gonna come out before any of the big networks get their hands on it. You know what I'm saying? So that's
yeah.
So do we all think that like Disney, not Disney Channel, mostly Nickelodeon, really? You think it's like the end for them? Like there's not another show that they can really create that's gonna pop off?
Because when I look at the trend, bro, I don't see that shit, my nigga. They put Henry Danger on my screen,
exactly,
bro. What the fuck is that? Like they ran out of ideas, bro. Like
Breadwinners,
back then,
are you
they had that five, bro. Breadwinners. All right,
nah, bro.
They made a show about twerking ducks selling bread, bro. really, bro. Oh my god, yeah, no, that shit is dead. If they can't, they could pull out with one. But I doubt it, bro. Everyone's moving to Hulu, Netflix, and all that shit. That's not going to happen.
But they're still captivating the kids of today. Like, they're still hitting their demographic. It's just obviously, it's obviously like SpongeBob is the only.
The kids will most kids are still calculated to like most of the shows now. But like the age of them like dominating like see the TV shows like them dominating like the TV stage are basically pretty much done.
Over.
Like, TV itself is moving over to streaming in general, and like that's one thing. And the second thing is that like besides Cartoon Network, and they still don't even go too crazy because most of the stuff they try and put on Adult Swim, they still own that, but like that's not Cartoon Network in itself, but they still have that advantage of having they're able to put like the darker type of anime. The best thing Disney, because Disney actually did have an anime block one time, but like
That's true.
that's like that wasn't like when I say like it didn't go too far, I mean like it's not like you can have you can have like Pokemon, you can have like shows like that, but like everyone knows what anime a lot of people want to see. It's
Yeah.
like the blogs, and like since they put their brands like oh we're family friendly. Family friendly can only go to like so far, you know.
That's so true.
And like with Nickelodeon, right? Like everyone remembers for the old school anime One Piece out there. Small kids, they used to like have like
What?
Dragon Ball, One Piece, and like a lot of people ended up hating it because they would censor it because like
Yeah.
they were kids, but they would censor a lot of things. And growing up, as we learned about what they censored, we just like despised it because it was like, well, I mean, like we weren't doing the true version, and it really did a disservice to, like some like literally there was a whole arc in One Piece about like one character being like basically getting out of like alcohol and stuff like that, and you have that completely basically have to like remove that completely damn near because like from the start they were like remove you were drinking like apple juice or something like that. That's like an example that I quickly make. Like they like re-edit certain scenes like to things out and like that's what probably Nickelodeon and Disney would have to do for like the bigger anime, but no one would really watch that because like no one just wants just like a watered down version of like what they really want to see. And like it's so easy now to like go and like stream these things now half the time. Like if you're
Yeah.
do a watered down version, just service to yourself, you might as well not even like
For sure. Like I remember Cartoon Network, like not even Adult Swim. Like I'm pretty sure Cartoon Network. I had Pokemon or whatever, but I think it also had Naruto at one point in time. Like, so that's They would have an in, and with with the more adult stuff, like the more gory stuff, they could put it on Adult Swim. But Nickelodeon and Disney Channel definitely don't have a way to keep up with this trend.
Even with like Adult Swim now, they have like Demon Slayer dub going. They've had like Dragon Ball Super going. They still have reruns of like Naruto going. I mean, like Adult Swim still now has a huge chunk of like their anime block still going. Obviously, it's at night, you know what I'm saying? So it's not like maximizing the full potential of viewership. But like still, like people don't even like I don't think people like because like Disney XD literally was here for like people was on there for like 3 shows. When Gravity Falls moved over there, some people watch like Star Wars: The Force of Evil and like some other shows, but like really that was it. We wasn't really going to be a Disney XD or anything like that. And like Nickelodeon, I mean, like besides SpongeBob, I've completely stopped watching Nickelodeon. Like if I need to see SpongeBob, I'll just watch like clips of old SpongeBob and shit. I don't think like Nickelodeon. I'd be forgetting Nickelodeon even exists. To be honest, I forgot Nickelodeon was here until they showed a little NFL game there. I think that's where they're gonna try and monetize the best for them is trying to like put more mainstream, like let's say like sports and things on there because I think they realize that like the animation at this point they may have lost it because once SpongeBob finally takes its wayside, and moves on because they're gonna eventually have to move on from it eventually. Like it'll be their mascot for sure, like how Mickey Mouse is Disney's mascot, but like they'll have to eventually move on from it as like a show, like always running. Like they have to have a new number one, and I don't see them having a number one that like besides like little kids, because like before I could like watch SpongeBob or like shows like Danny Phantom with like not only just like me or like my friends, but like parents could come in, older brothers come in. But now it's like if you're a kid, it seems like they're really trying to embrace that if you're a kid, this is for a kid, and not all animation has to be for kids. So, and that's what I think is really, really gonna kill them in the end.
All right.
What are we gonna do with this remaining meeting time?
Okay? Yeah, we have 2 remaining minutes, but I think I could just record another clip. But I want to keep the discussion going. So we were talking about anime, and that comes from Japan. That's Japanese culture type of thing. I want to segue that into Asian culture and what's going on in the world right now with Asian culture. That's a good segue. So we have Nick, because Nick knows a lot about what's going on with the Asian community and like the discrimination that they're experiencing at this time. And
But like,
I want him to kind of fill us in.
Hold on, Michael, what were you saying?
I was saying I have bits and pieces, but I don't have like the full details. So like that's 100%.
Yeah. All right. No, we can go to you after, but I'm just letting Nick speak.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a lot of. I'm not like an expert either, but I've done like some research from reputable news sites, and I've seen what's going on. And basically, there's just a lot of like fear and anxiety within like specifically like Asian Americans, like in the Asian American community, because there's been like a spike in hate crimes over the past year. There's been a spike in hate crimes specifically towards Asian Americans, like in New York. Like there was a drastic increase, and a lot of Asian Americans are afraid for their safety because of this. And it basically just stems from xenophobia. Part of it is because people, they blame the spread of COVID on the Chinese, for instance. Like a lot of people are just being increasingly xenophobic, and some people attribute it to our last presidency. I can't say whether that's true or not, but some people do, as a result of the Trump presidency, some people do feel more.
Yeah, you can't say that there isn't a connect. Like you can't say that there's like no connection.
It's not like I'm not saying that.
But I'm not sure it's the entire issue.
Yeah, it's not the entire issue, but some people have felt more emboldened to be more vocal with their racist beliefs as a result of the last presidency, and they feel more comfortable just straight up blaming it on China.
We really took 40 minutes on that one topic. Yeah, we were moving.
I don't think we were moving.
All right. All right. So I resumed recording. It looks like we're recording for now. So Nick, do you remember where you left off in terms of Asian community? All right.
So yeah, I wouldn't I'm not trying to attribute it 100% to the Trump presidency or whatever. But when you have like the head of a nation like blaming an entire global pandemic on one country, it's gonna cause some xenophobia, and it's gonna cause some, more racist of our citizens to be more vocal about their shitty beliefs. So that's basically, I think, what's going on. And then some people take it a step further, obviously. Like there's people committing hate crimes against Asians specifically in the modern day, like in places like New York, which is, it's pretty democratic, but it's still occurring like at an elevated rate, and it's causing widespread fear among Asian Americans, and rightfully so.
Yeah. All right.
I think that's all. That's just, to me, like, bro, as a nigga who's just like, bro, I'm always just about, bro, you wake up and figure out the fuck you need to be doing. So like when I see shit like that, like a whole fuckload of hate crimes, bro, you really don't got shit going in your life to be doing all that shit, bro. Because like, what the fuck's the point? Like my nigga, that nigga's trying to live just like you trying to live, but you just want to fool. Like I don't understand that. Like I've never understood why people are racist. Like I kind of see. I don't agree with them at all. It's just dumb to me. Like bro, focus on you, and then your life will be so much better. Like you get so bothered because someone is my nigga. Relax, bro.
Well, ignorance is dangerous. Like, you would, because we have logic, basic logic, and life experiences that allow us to make that what seems to us to be a simple judgment. But there's people out here living in states where there's like a 90% like Caucasian population, and that they were raised to be that way. I'm not saying it excuses them at all. They're still dumb as hell. But like that's why like it's not that simple.
So garbage, bro. Y'all niggas got too much time on your hands, bro.
Yeah, because they're afraid.
I understand it, but now go ahead.
I was gonna say that from what I've seen, basically, it all basically stemmed down to like, there was this real one incident where out of nowhere, this Asian like older man, older gentleman with his minor some kid just ran up and just pushed him to the ground for whatever reason, and unfortunately, he passed away from those injuries. And like ABC did a talk about it, and basically it came down to like them saying, there was like, I guess, a couple or whatever. They're talking about like how the black community, it's like, I guess what they're saying it's like more like the black community is like understanding like there's a lot of like hatred for Asians allegedly, and like it's happening more, I guess, in California. I'm not too sure about that. I'm not there, but like it's not just that, but like so they made that claim, and then you know, Twitter ran with that. So there was a whole, we're not anti-Asian, or like they need to understand like Asians can be very racist to black people, and now it seems to be this Asian versus black thing going on. But now like but I hate that that's going on because it's taking away from like the fact that like Asians are getting targeted right now, whether it's from like Black, American, whatever they are, mostly because of like COVID and like and people doing a misconception of like, oh, if you're Chinese or if you're Asian, you're automatically Chinese or anything like that.
Yeah, no, that type of shit is fucked up. We have to hold, especially I'm guessing, I'm assuming that it's just these white people like accountable for being discriminatory towards the Asian community, but they need to pinpoint where it's at, because obviously it's not happening down here anywhere near here. At least I don't think. I've never heard of any cases down here.
Maybe in the backwater parts of Florida, because urban shits, I haven't heard anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
but I like that shit. It's just all types of fucked up. Like I really can't wrap my head around it.
I can't understand it, but like I guess it comes down to
like we're in such a melting pot. America is so diverse at this point.
Like what's the point?
Like
what's the point?
It's because certain rhetoric from certain people, like Trump is just like an example. It's not just him. It's like a lot of it's a lot of just, you know, officials say things like this that like breed xenophobia in people. Like, oh, like for instance, like with Hispanics, like, oh, the Mexicans are all trying to take our jobs, so then they become afraid of Mexicans because they think that they're, you know, threatening their economic stability and their livelihood, and they think, oh, Asians caused COVID, so it's like, oh, we have to be afraid of them now, and we hate them now. It's just like ignorance plus a certain type of rhetoric from from certain government officials, or basically what creates this, along with, you know, where you live, how you were raised, and things like that. It's stupid, but it's how
it's really how. Go ahead.
It's stupid because it's like you'll never be comfortable in America. Like there's no way to be comfortable if you're just constantly just gonna find a population to be scared of. Like, oh, the Mexican man's gonna steal my job. The black man's gonna rob me. The Asian person is like
gonna give me COVID.
Give me COVID. Running convenience stores, like whatever. Like I just, it's like at some point you're gonna have to realize that immigrants made the country. More immigrants are gonna come to the country, and they're gonna surround you, and you're just gonna have to be comfortable with where you're living. And if not, you're gonna have to isolate yourself, because
you know what I'm saying? Because like
operates at this point.
And I don't understand
at the same time though, like go to like abroad to an Asian country, a lot of like those countries, they're racist in a way towards like, or in a way where they don't want like English speakers or just people that aren't them, like in their bars or restaurants, like wherever in certain areas.
Yeah, it's definitely
certain areas.
It's definitely
you feel me? But it's just like, big thing.
Yeah. So it's just like, it is so weird because like, especially in like the way that people try to justify like, oh, Asians did COVID. Cap. Okay. Black people, raw people. Okay, whatever. What's it called? Hispanics, drugs, all that shit. It's like, bro, you're so afraid of what these groups can do when in reality white people do the same shit. Like, what are you talking? Like, you're so scared of all these minority statistics. Yeah, you can pull up the statistics all you want. I'm just talking about it in a general sense. It's like, bro, everyone is capable of doing anything. So if I'm going to be scared of them, I'm going to be scared of whoever the fuck's behind me too, in my suburb. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, if you're going to be scared of everyone, or be scared of no one. It makes no fucking sense because anybody, I don't care, like, bro.
It's not like they have like a secret Illuminati meeting where they're planning like your downfall or some shit. Like, I don't understand what
people are just trying to live, bro. So if you're really that fucking scared, be scared of Frank down the street too, because my nigga, he could turn around, slaughter his whole family, and slaughter you for watching, nigga. Like, it doesn't correlate. It doesn't make sense to just be so scared of minorities, but you're walking hand in hand with probably a nigga who's a serial rapist. You have no idea he's a good guy because he's a fucking Republican, just like you, just like me. Like, bro, like, dog, you don't like, if you gotta be consistent, bro. That's what niggas are lacking, bro, in their rhetoric, bro. They be so inconsistent, dog, and it's just You sound dumb.
It's not, I don't think it's just inconsistency is people, they'll take a side and they'll like stand for it like
Oh, yeah.
we're at war. Like if you're a Democrat, like they'll be like, "Oh, I'm a Republican. If you're a Democrat, don't talk to me. I'm a Democrat. If you're a Republican, don't talk to me."
They treat it like a sports team, man.
Exactly. They treat
like,
us like
even more than sports teams, like they take it like to a level where it's like I gotta like really question like, "Hey, is y'all like, are y'all mentally okay?" Because like there's no way that like you can really sit here and look me in the eyes and be like, oh, I prefer all Republicans or like Democrats, because like people really are like that. Where like I've seen it especially more on the Democrat side. I'm gonna be honest with you, because a lot of Democrats, it's like if you say you're a Republican, now, I'm not a Republican, but I can straight up say I've seen Democrats be like, "Oh, Republican, don't talk to me. You're a racist or stuff like that." Like you can't say don't judge a book by its cover and then the judge
Generalize
by
them
the
like
cover
that.
like
Exactly.
the second time around. Like we gotta like understand like these are people too. A lot of people choose Democrat or Republican not because of like, oh, I'm racist or I'm not. It's because of their economic status, if they want to pay taxes, if they want to get certain things. Like I'm Democratic because like, look, I grew up poor. We still mostly are poor. Like a nigga will like to have like food stamps or some like healthcare. But people who are middle class always still want to pay those taxes, so like they'll probably be more like Republican, or higher class, and that's okay. But some people just don't understand that. They just think that, oh, Republican, you're racist. Oh, Democrat, you're a liberal. You're gay, or you're like anything like that. Like,
Bro, it
Yeah.
comes down to like just how people think, and like more and more as I get older and I see people make these arguments, just in any sense, but especially in politics, people people aren't ready, or people aren't willing to see things as what they are, a spectrum it's an entire spectrum. People are just black, white, left, right, and just all just two categories when that's just completely wrong. So you know what I'm saying? So like someone could be economically Republican. They can be economically conservative. But socially, they're like, yeah, they're well, nationwide healthcare, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? And they can be socially liberal. But you got people on the left who are just like, oh, you're a Republican, you must like Trump. No, that's wrong. You can't think that. Oh,
Yeah.
and then you got people on the right. Oh, you're a fucking Democrat. Oh, you're a pink-haired SJW. Oh, you have 47 like, bro, no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a spectrum to everything in life, and it's just like, nigga,
Most people are in the
get
center.
away from most people are in the fucking center.
But
So
the
it's like
alt-right
you
and
have
the
to get
alt-left
away
are
from
vocal.
this ridiculous ass thinking and kind of see the world for what it is.
The vocal minority is a really dangerous thing. Like with like alt-right and alt-left people, like that's what you see, even though there's less of them, because of what they're saying is so outlandish, and it garners so much attention. Even though there's less people on like far sides of the spectrum, like that's what you see and associate. When most people are somewhere in the center, there's some like moderate to some degree.
And that's what the internet has done. But the main issue with like discrimination, just racism in general, is just people are so quick to generalize without having like that conversation. Like you need to talk to like who you're so afraid of, or like who's like the issue population, where you just make generalities about them. Like I've never understood that. Like you really don't know anything. Like you're just basing what you know off of what someone told you instead of actually meeting one of those people in real life. So when you do meet them, it's just rudeness, and then it just stirs hate, and it just makes more complex problems.
And it really like shows how blessed we are to live where we are, because like Florida's definitely a red state, but we live in the urban bluer areas of the state, so it's kind of like we get to interact with people who are Hispanic, who are Asian, who are like Muslim, all that shit, you know what I'm saying? So like we get to see and interact with those people just in school alone. School really opened my eyes to what the fuck the world actually is, just by interacting with different people who aren't just me. You know what I'm saying? And then like, but when you have people who live in backwater Mississippi or Alabama, you know what I'm saying? They just see whack. They don't see shit else but whack. So it's like, bro, you know what I'm saying? So like every single time they see someone, they're white. So the first time they see a black person, they take a visit to Miami or some shit. They're like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to exist next to me. Like what the like exactly. So it's like, bro,
yeah.
That's why we're definitely fortunate. to be able to speak and know and experience other cultures so that we're not fucking racist. But a lot of people are just stuck in backwater, fucking with cows and shit. I'm sorry. That's just, it's just sad.
Yeah, it's just the way we've grown up. Because like I'm pretty sure Terry or Michael, you guys have experienced it where like I'll walk down the street like I was or the sidewalk like I was mentioning like a day ago, and they'll see me and they'll try their hardest to avoid me like as if I look like some sort of hoodlum. They give me this look as if like I'm not trusting. And you know that messes with like your psyche. Like, dang, like maybe I am just like a Shrek. Like I'm just a ogre in a swamp here. Like niggas just really don't fuck with me just off of seeing me. And I don't know. It's just it's weird. Like people do the little things that they don't even realize, but it goes a very long way in shaping someone's view on the world around them.
Yeah, that's definitely. I haven't had as many experiences in that, which I'm kind of fortunate for, cause like they'll see me, give me that little side eye, or like if like they'll look at me, and then like I'll just speak, and then like, cause you can see, what I'm saying. You walk by a white person, they kind of like they tense up a little bit, they move out the way, but then I try to be like, bruh, like I always try to be like as polite as possible, just so you can notice that like I may be black as fuck, but like I'm not some hoodlum, some thief that you think I am. I'm gonna say excuse me, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying? How you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? How you doing? And like I'll try to indirectly like break down those assumptions that you may have. Like, yeah, I'm a black kid. Just today, I'm a black kid in the store just trying to shop. If you're in my way, I'm gonna be as respectful as possible. Oh, excuse me, you know what I'm saying? And then so that I can do my little part in just trying to make sure people don't think of black people, black kids as just these thugs, as gangsters, as hoodlums. You know what I'm saying?
See, I definitely have been able to do that. Like through school. I feel like I've met a lot of, especially like teachers, where they're like, "Oh, like where are you supposed to be?" And you're like, "Who are you?" And then like I'll just articulate a sentence in front of them, and they're like, "Oh, okay, you one of them. Never mind." Like I respect. It's crazy how their whole attitude changes. Like I've seen it time and time again. Really. Like if I'm just on the street, like it's a completely different ball game. Like they literally like look at me like I'm a piece of garbage sometimes, and I'm like, dog, like you literally live in the neighborhood like across the street from me. Like you can vibe for real. Like
you just as down bad.
Like you can vibe. I'm not here to steal you or steal your shit. Like pillage your house. Like I
remember I was working on a project with with somebody, and it was in middle school, IB program, you know what I'm saying? So like I was able to go over to his house, and like he lived in like a pretty affluent neighborhood. I won't say he's rich or anything, I'm crazy, but he was in a pretty affluent. It was a pretty big house. It had rooms in it, like multiple rooms in it. So, but like we had to get supplies or something, so I went out to like a CVS, right? And like I walked in immediately. The lady at the desk, because I'll never forget this. So this is the day when I went home and I had like tears in my eyes because I thought I was like, dog, am I just like ugly as shit? Because like not only did she give me this look, and she kept looking, like giving me this mean side eye. Like as I started to go to like, oh, let me like start looking for the supplies, right? They would like this one person would like, and it was a guy, right? And he would just be following me like every way into like each aisle and stuff. Like, I was like, okay, maybe he's just like trying to like fix something up, you know what I'm saying? But then I started to go to those aisles, like I know these aisles are completely fine. I'm just going here to see if he's really following me, and he just kept with me like the whole way around the store. I'm like, am I like not really like not trustworthy? And I'm like, I look around, and, like other people would be going into the store, and like that wouldn't be happening to them. And I was like, what was the difference between me? And I was like, am I just like what's going on? Why am I getting like this dirty look? Or like, why am I like or like, why is it when I gave like the lady like the $20 bill, she had to like check to see if the bill was like real?
Oh my god, don't get me started on the checking your money, man.
Like, I'm sitting there and I literally watched, because I looked to see like, oh, maybe she's doing that for like other people. And I'm looking at them, you know, I'm like, okay, that guy's been a 5, you know, maybe it's the same as a 20, because I thought the $20 was a lot of money at that time. And like I looked at this guy, he gave him about like another 20. She immediately took it. I'm sitting there like, wait, it's something different. So like I was thinking like, I at that point I was like, because I had like known about racism obviously, but like I wasn't like, well, like, you know, it's just Florida, we're in there like a little bit of a better place. It wasn't until like I went home And I was like, started talking to my mom, and then she was like, nah, that's just like they just like racially profile you off rip. Like I said, you're black, they're coming in there, you're probably gonna rob. They feel as if you're probably gonna rob someone. They probably haven't seen a black person in that neighborhood for a long time. So, you know, immediately they basically racially profiled you, and like it was really there when I was like, damn, this shit is like really like even in places that I thought would get a little bit better because I thought more people interacted with like others of a different race here because like it's such a melting pot here. Like my worldview started to expand more because I was like, damn, like it's just really how it is. Like I went like I even had like the next day I had to go back to like his house and I was sitting there and I was like looking at like his parents like do they like even trust me being here? Like and then like I did even ask him like, hey yo, did your parents like put anything away? And then he said, oh yeah, my mom was like putting away. She was like, oh, let me put away all my valuables before your friend came here. And then I was like, damn, like is it because like is because like maybe she wants to be safe, or is it really because I'm like black? And like I never really got too deep into it more because like I didn't want to like put myself in a situation where like it would be a problem. But like that was when I was in my head. I was like, yeah, this shit like really is like really still prevalent. IP.
Yeah, that shit fucks with your head for real.
And I don't want this discussion to take away from the fact that there is racism going on in the Asian community and people are committing hate crimes against them in this day and age. But as a black, I can definitely say that some like the psychological warfare of just being black, it hits as well as it probably hits for an Asian guy or a Hispanic guy or just anybody.
Yeah, like just psychologically of being a minority in general.
Yeah. Like the simple things of like having that conversation with your parents about what to do when you get pulled over or stopped by a police officer. Like those little things, they resonate in your mind.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a very serious topic.
I definitely think that like because it's real easy to just be like as blame. I think it's real easy for them people like in government officials to be like it's the minority's fault because like people need something like rally behind like be like oh it's that thing's fault and you can't really be like oh it's you can't really like try to explain to them like oh it's this and this. So people's minds, I'll be honest with you, it's like in America people's minds are not like they're not really pushing no high IQ barriers here. It's much easier to be like it's this group of people's fault and like that's just that. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember I think most remember during like we weren't there for this time, but I do remember like back in World War II, if you were Asian, that was it.
You're out of there. Asian American doesn't matter. Internment camp.
Like that was it. People looked at you way funny. Like it was terrible. Like so.
Like honestly, no.
Like I heard somebody, and I'm sorry to cut you off. I heard somebody like today tell me like, oh, hold on, was it who said that like they'll call it the Ching Chong disease or something like in the G League. Like this is the NBA G League. They call Jeremy. Yeah, they call Jeremy like the coronavirus. Like in like mid play. Like I understand maybe trying to get in someone's head, but like you ain't gotta like do all that. Like
that's far stepping your bounds, boss.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like obviously nowadays like I severely doubt that it would ever get to the point of like how it was back then with internment camps because we have like more rights established like for minorities, but it's still obviously a problem.
Yeah.
And like I haven't had that many like recent experiences being profiled, but my parents when I was a baby, like I was in the car with them like as a baby in a car seat and they literally got profiled and they got stopped. Like my dad wasn't speeding or nothing, like he just got stopped. He got put up against the car and searched. So
that's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But it's the life that we're forced to live. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we're always taught to keep your head down, do what you got to do. I feel really bad that Asian people have to go through the same shit that we've been going through for so long, but we gonna make it through. You know what I'm saying?
Wants to go into life and be already preset on like the hardest difficulty.
Yeah.
I have that shit. It's like at least be like normal. Like if you're a minority, and like just a minority in general, because like back in like a lot of our homelands, right, most likely than not, they're poor. So we came to America for a reason, right? Because we have a better shot of like making it better there. Because like I'm sure like for Terry or Wilson going back to Haiti, right? You're in more like the poor area. If I go back to Jamaica, it's not exactly poor, but it's like a country area, and like there's
When
still
I
a
go
lot
back
of
to
pockets
Honduras,
along
Oh yeah.
Nick too, going back to back home, you know, there's no guarantee you're going to turn the corner and there ain't gangbangs like right there. And like even though that's still like that was still a big part of me growing up, gangbangs, you could never escape it if you're like a minority, especially most likely. Um, but like it seems as if like we come to America for a reason because there's a chance of it being much better than like growing up in like obviously a third world country.
for sure.
And but it sucks because like it's here's supposed to be the land of opportunity, but like it's the land of opportunity, but like you definitely it seems as if like you not only have to like work harder, but it's like you're just like looked at as like damn man, like people look at you and they're like, well, like you're black, you're the same color as dirt. That's exactly what you are. Or like you're Spanish, you have to be Mexican. You're trying to take my job. You're gonna rape my kid. You're gonna do something. Like you're Asian. You're bringing diseases. You're gonna like you're a terrorist. You're doing this. You're doing that. You're Muslim. You're a terrorist. You know, like
Yeah,
It's
no.
messy. It's messy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's definitely. I visit Honduras almost every summer, and I can tell you, like, I guess it is really better living here because like Honduras is a lot of you watching probably don't even know where that is, but it's like a Central American country, like Hispanic. It's got the highest murder rate in the world out of any country not at war. So I guess I am grateful to be here, even with all the problems that exist.
Yeah, it really puts your life into perspective. Like when you realize that things could be worse, but they're not. So yeah, you just gotta be grateful. Nyla, close.
Speaking of murder, I think that's a pretty decent segue into our next topic.
Bet that up, run it. It's your topic, boss.
Unless does anyone else have anything to say about the race issue?
like
I think we can move on.
Yeah, like you want to say put your own 2 cents, put in the comments or anything like that. But like other than that, and we can bring it up next week so we can continue the conversation.
Yeah.
It's not like this is going anywhere. It's been here for years. It'll continue to be.
Yeah, it'll be here.
Get better. But like, if you have anything to say, just put in the comments. We'll have a discussion about it. No matter if you white, black, whatever.
Yeah, any discrimination that you face throughout your lifetime, please feel free to share it with us in the comments.
If you're comfortable doing so, obviously.
Yes, if you're obviously comfortable.
Let's have let's have a discussion. All right. So this is a topic that I came up with. Because I think about it a decent amount. I want to know what are y'all's breaking points in terms of what would someone have to do to you for you to kill them? Like, what would be your breaking point?
Murder, she wrote.
My buddy here gave
guilty.
His face here. I'm not gonna lie.
Nah, bro. Niggas eating pineapple pizza, I'll kill y'all, bro.
Well, shit, bro. I guess you're gonna have to kill me because I like pineapple pizza, bro.
Jail. Y'all niggas need to stop putting pineapple on pizza, bro. That shit is illegal.
I'm gonna be the most hated pineapple on
pizza is tomato.
Niggas put this shit on with like bacon and ham too. Like,
bacon.
That is dead. That's dead. That's dead, bro.
I don't mess with ham on pizza, but I like bacon.
We got 10 minutes before this one ends.
Oh boy, let's get this section over. Bro, that's nasty, bro. But yeah,
my girl hates it too.
Let me think about mine. I gotta think.
For me, see, because I couldn't easily be in this situation of like I could easily have like taken someone's life because like unfortunately like growing up on my father's side, he was a soldier and my brother, my late brother, and he was basically damn near like you could say an assassin for a couple years. Like I've always had the ability to be like, hey, I want this person gone. You don't exist anymore. If I'm being honest. Because like my father, unfortunately, took me a while for me to get into my life, but like my brother was always there, and like they'd be like, hey, I may be here in like the UK, but like if you need anything, just let me know, and but my mom luckily taught me from a young age to like hate is like one of the strongest words really out there, and like I have to like if for me to like really kill you, you'd have to like pretty much like kill my mother. basically. There isn't a point where like I really look at you and be like, damn, you shouldn't be here right now. You're gone. Like you're like, to me, a life is really precious, no matter like who you are. You know, unless you're a little scum, then like you don't deserve to live at that point. I guess you can say that if you're scum, like if you like rape people or like a mass murderers, like I don't think you deserve to have like the opportunity to be here on like God's green earth. But like other than that, like I don't really have like a breaking point where I'll be like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you tonight. Like, that's like you have to like really put like you really at this point you have to do some like you have to be like on your villain shit. Like some like Joker type shit, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta like really harm like just like torturing me or harm or something like that. Other than that, I don't really have like a real problem with people. But, like I really look at people and be like, yeah.
To be honest, like I've thought about it in my life at one point. It's just like I get fucking angry. Especially with video games and shit. We all know that. I get fucking livid. You know what I'm saying?
Your Wall has been murdered.
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Wall became a punching bag, straight. You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to like people and interacting in a social space and just interacting with other people, my patience just goes. It's high. So it's like, even if someone, God forbid, were to like kill someone in my family, like I've thought about it. It's just like, wow, if that were to happen, like the U.S. doesn't take revenge crimes well. Like they put little girls in jail who kill their fucking rapists, and they don't even blink an eye. So it's like they don't take revenge crimes well for shit. So it's like, why would I throw myself in jail because someone else wanted to do that? Like I'd be devastated. Probably wouldn't see me for like a month or two, but like I couldn't bring myself to take somebody's life despite them not having that same regard for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's very true, but a crime of passion actually doesn't exonerate you, but it does lower the degree of like a murder. I'm pretty sure, like if it's a crime of passion.
First to second, right? Which is still about like 25 to life to about 20ish years. 15.
Yeah, I'm not saying I would do it, but I'm just saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's literally like you know what I'm saying? Like they go from like beating your face in to they go from it's like an example. Like they go from like someone jumping you to the point where you can't walk for a month to someone jumping you to the point where you can't walk for a day. They still beat the fuck out of you. You know what I'm saying? It's still gonna fucking hurt. So it's like, bruh, it's not really that big of a difference to justify me wanting to go through with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure about killing. I guess I could be in that. I've been in that mind state before, where it's like, bro, fuck this dude. Like, I'll kill this dude. Like, I swear to God, on like on
in traffic. I remember that.
I remember that shit.
But
man's really had the blade out there.
I'll fucking kill you, bro.
Okay, well, let's not get into that. Let's not incriminate myself.
But yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing.
I've had
I wasn't talking about you
before, where it's like a simple like, oh, your dad is fat, like fuck, like your dad is a bitch. Like I bet, like if I saw your dad, he'd be like this fat piece of shit. Like fuck your dad. Like I've had people do that before, and like I didn't kill him, but like I seriously injured them. Like it's like I'm not sure what someone would have to say or do about or to my family member before like I kind of hit that switch where like, all right, yeah, this nigga's dead. Like murder, she wrote it. Like it's over. It's over. But yeah, I don't know. It really just depends on the situation. You'd have to catch me at a bad time.
Yeah, I definitely put up like the example of my mother, but like that really is like one of the like obviously if we were like to like kill and torture my mom, I'd probably like have an intricate plan to catch you and like end your life, but it would probably require you going to a random third world country, so I wouldn't get into too much law problems here. Because once you handle that shit in another country, America, most of the time will be like, yeah, that's not us. Once you obviously do it on American soil, I mean, unless you do it in Chirac, and then there's like a 70% chance they don't even know you exist. But it's like there really is like I've definitely been to the point where like I put people in positions where they may wish to die one time, but like I've never really killed somebody like off of it. So like, and the person who did that put me in like they had like broken shit, basically broken in, harmed my mother, and I was like, well, I mean, like now you won't be able to like walk. Like I hope you enjoy that. but like, you know, I've never been to the point where I flip the switch. I'm like, oh yeah, you're gone. Like I literally, while like beating this shit man senseless and sitting like, yeah, I'm still gonna, I still, my mind was sitting there like,
I
I'm
think
like,
I'd seriously injure him.
kill somebody. Like I was sitting like, I have to make sure this guy's still living. He may not want to live, but like he's going to live.
That's fair. Yeah, seriously injure seems like the way. I've always envisioned
Me too, yeah.
like the person that pisses me off the most one day, like I have a preferred way of wanting to harm them, if that makes sense.
Me
Like
too.
I'll envision like, I look want to put someone's like down face first on like the concrete and like kick their skull
Yeah,
so like their teeth shatters on the concrete.
it's cathartic. Curb stomping is very cathartic.
911.
Basically, just like it was more like there.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, speak for me.
Can you go ahead and repeat that,
You
sir?
better get into something, brother. Wait, let me.
Could you repeat that?
Could you repeat that?
Shit. Cause like shooting niggas is played out, but if I like chop a nigga up with a sword, like that's some real ass shit though.
Hey, I mess with this
FBI
man.
niggas though, like I'm gonna say this right now. Don't take this out of context. All
Nah,
right,
take it out of context. I
I fuck with this dude. I fuck with this
Take
dude.
it out of context.
Nah, take it out of context, nigga. I'm ready.
Meanwhile,
This is too easy. This is too easy. Yeah, you heard them? They said they're in Buckhead in Atlanta. They're idiots.
I'm with this shit.
All right, well, like, so for legal purposes, right? I would definitely say like anything we say right here or something like that. Y'all will like don't really use this in the court of law because I will not be in the court of law. Y'all will not.
Okay.
But no, in all seriousness, Terry, that sorry I might, but that shit.
But it's all right.
Sorry I might.
Right. But this shit stereo sound. Don't you what? 4K jet.
No, it's crazy. I got
All right.
I got the same exact headset too.
The same.
Same exact, the same blue shit. Yep, the same exact one. Nah, but seriously, on like a real note, yeah, it would take a lot for me to like. I would never like wake up like if I like I've been bullied. I have definitely been bullied to the point where I would cry home, but I never went home and would sit there and be like, I'm about to shoot up this school. Never in my head.
Because of your upbringing.
Yeah.
Never.
Never. Because if I shot up the school, my parents beating
would have shot me up.
Oh,
the
my
fuck?
mom would have came there before I even released the first shot. Boy, I would have.
What? Mom would have been from the school. What you about to get into? What you doing?
What are you doing?
What you about to get into?
What you about to get into? Put the AR in my hand.
Synchrono, bro. What a waste of talent.
She could have had a broken hip, right? If I left the school with any type of weapon, went to school with any type of weapon, she would have sweet chin music my ass like at the doorstep.
Bro,
like I wouldn't have been able to.
If I brought an AR to school, my mom would and my dad would get a tree branch and beat me with that before I got a shot.
Oh yeah, with the AR in your hand, you wouldn't dare shoot.
My mom, I would
have
the AR stick itself. Like that shit would have been different. Like
my mom would have put the AR in my ass.
We're about to experience some technical difficulties, so I'll play us out.
Oh. Hey. Wait, hold
on. All right. You see?
Oh, please, can the zoom in, bro?
I'm the editor, bro, because Lord knows this isn't recording. No, that was
my god, that was so funny.
You weren't recording, bro. Shut up. Nah.
Oh my god, this nigga said I'm gonna kill myself.
I'm gonna kill myself.
This man went into a literal domain expansion infinite.
Oh my god, that shit was hilarious.
Boy.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Yeah, we gotta. The moment we get on, bro, Wilson gotta hit record, bro. We gotta get those.
Yo, that's my fault, but it's recording now. All right.
Hello, useless Miwa here.
Useless Miwa here.
Let's move on to our next topic, yo, boys.
I didn't even get to say nothing, bro.
Oh yeah, say your shit, Nick.
Oh yeah, say your shit.
That fat ball.
What you about to do to the person that pissed you off?
What you about to do?
It's actually, I thought about this a lot, especially after watching Daredevil, because like the big like morality thing in there is like, oh, like you like beat the shit out of all these criminals, but like you don't kill them. Like, does that really make you better? So I just been thinking about it. I see, they're already ready to catch me, bro. I ain't gonna lag today. This ain't Vlad TV, bro. I don't know what you thought this was. This is
What's up, bro?
But yeah,
Go
basically,
Go ahead.
you know, I never killed anyone, even though a lot of people have made me very angry in a setting where I could have, gotten away with more things. In Honduras, law enforcement is very corrupt, but I ain't never killed no one, And I don't think I have a word, because I do value life, but I definitely have sent some people to the hospital, and I probably would do it again if people pushed a certain threshold.
Okay.
Y'all remember, even in the U.S., y'all remember when I put that lighter in that kid's mouth, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, can you like go over the story?
Sure, I can retraverse the story for you, bro. So I don't care. So you remember it was freshman year, so like 4 years ago, we were in our physical education class, and there was this kid. There was this ugly ass jit, bro. His name was Stephen Hiles. I'm pretty sure.
Oh no! Wait, repeat the name.
Stephen Hiles.
What was your location?
South Plantation High School. So this kid, he's mad annoying. He always pissing us off. On this particular day, they hand out some lifestyles, some rubbers at the the sex ed bus or whatever that came to the school. This man blew up the rubber, and he was going around touching people with it. So this man came up to me while we were all gathered, and our coach, we're in the gym, so the coach was facing the other way on the far side of the court, so she didn't see what was going on. So this kid comes up and he tries to touch me with the inflated, ballooned up rubber, bro.
So what do you have to do in retaliation?
So I had to hit him with a single leg. I got him on the ground, and then this girl had given me this red.
This nigga brought wrestling into the situation, yo boys. This nigga is he said he did a single leg takedown.
That nigga has on black forces right now, cuz I'm telling you.
I do have some in my cart, bro. I'm about to cross them.
Why?
But yeah, so man's ended up on the ground. I look up. Coach came. Our coach still ain't looking at us. So I pulled out the red Bic lighter that this girl in my geometry class gave me. Put it in Bolt's mouth. I flicked it. And this man, when I tell you, this man had tears in his eyes. And that's just like whatever. Like, to be honest, when I look back at it, like, that was kind of not an appropriate response to just be touched with the condom.
Kind of? Kind of?
But, I mellowed out since then, and I don't resort to violence as easily as I may have in the past. And I wouldn't kill anybody. But, torture is definitely on the table if someone does anything to,
make them suffer.
Yeah, it's like a good friend or a family member. Like, if I had the option to, torture would be on the table, like waterboarding, giving them 1,000 paper cuts, burning them, that kind of thing. But obviously, but I wouldn't kill anybody. And like, even to torture someone or cause them.
Wait, how do you go about that? How do you give someone 1,000 paper cuts?
You just take really sharp paper. You
just go one by one. You just count.
Yeah, you just count, and
I feel like torture to myself, bro.
And then you take a lemon. You take a lemon.
That's true.
And you just
talk about a lemon, yeah.
Or salt.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Alcohol?
I haven't seen that happen in person. I just heard about that one. But the other stuff I definitely have seen happen.
Bro, I've seen some crazy ass shit with like wounds, especially like in Haiti, because my grandfather, he's a mechanic. And so like we'll just be, at the auto shop. And I remember like our cousin, he got some sort of cut from, I think, falling, like tripping over something. And he's like, oh, okay, wash it out with water and then come here. And then he's like, what are you going to do? And instead of like having actual alcohol or anything, this man took like a car cleaner, and he just sprayed it in the man's cut. I've never heard a person scream louder than that day. I promise you. I don't even know what he put in that nigga's cut, but apparently it worked. Apparently it worked.
Yeah.
I'll do it. Hey.
Hey.
It was a car cleaning product, bro. I was like,
Whatever works.
Don't get injured because I don't need that.
Hey, Caribbean people, especially like the older folk, got some of the wildest like natural remedies that like no.
Wilson, Haitians, bro. That real masquitica, that oil, that literally cures everything on the planet.
Bro, the other day, bro, it wasn't even too long ago. I promise you. All right, so there was no soap in the bathroom. And so, little me, I needed some soap. So I was like, okay, let me go to my parents' room, see if they have any soap. I go into their closet. There's like 4 bottles of just Old Spice just stacked up in the closet. Just like 4, like this big, just 4 of them bitches. I'm like, okay, I'm going to just...
This man got the lotion.
No way that they need 4 things of Old Spice, all right? And there's only one dude, it's just my dad. So like, there's no way he's going through 4 bottles of Old Spice. And my mom doesn't use Old Spice. So I take it, I go to the bathroom, I turn on the shower, I put on my whatever grocery bag, shower cap, the water's on, I'm vibing. I got my body soaked. I'm like, all right, time to apply the soap. All right. I go and I grab this bottle, bro. I open that bit. I'm just like, okay, time. I put it onto my washcloth, straight oil. Like I'm talking like the consistency of olive oil just dumped all over the sink, like the bath or the tub floor. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, oh my God. Like, I don't think people understand how trash that is to be butt naked and have to clean like all that oil. Just like bro, I almost slipped in that oil, bro. You know how hard? Like you said how bad that shit would have hurt? Butt naked, my cheeks slapping on the ground after slipping in a puddle of goddamn oil. I got so hot in that shower. Oh, who does this? Who does this? Right? I finished my shower. Like hours later, my mom's like, "Oh, so how was your shower earlier?" I'm like, "How you know I took a shower? And how you know something bad would happen?" She's like, "Oh, I saw that one of our soaps were gone." I'm like, "It's not soap. It's this weird oil." And she's like, "Oh, I know. It's the reason because of kids like you." I'm like, what type of sick trick is that? Like, what type of sick lesson is that? Let me put soap so my kid can learn to not take soap without asking.
God, you said you finished the shower. What the fuck did you shower with? Kind of oil on the floor?
Bro, you know when there's no soap in like the bottle, bro, so you put water in it.
You put water, you shake it out.
Yes.
Yeah, everyone done that.
Bro, it was one of them down bad showers.
Yeah. You just mad. You seething. You just.
Bro. No, that's what getting
that layer of soap,
bro. Because you rubbing furiously now, so now you getting everything going on now.
Bro, what? You heard me turn off that shower too. That's it. Boom, bum, like. Bro. I ripped off my shower cap. I was.
Do that shit in the trash.
Nigga didn't even do the shower while sick and shit. He was just there.
He was mad, cuz. He was showering like young boy cut.
What?
And the shit don't make no sense.
All right. All right. Moving on for our boy Nicholas here. Let's go to your last topic, my guy. What is your ideal feature for a song? So yeah, this is your topic choice. So what is your ideal song feature? If you were to make a song, what artist would you want to feature on that track?
Germ.
Shut your dumb ass up. This man is about to go to jail in like
it's probably gonna be City Morgue. I can guess City Morgue, Denzel Curry, or someone from Suicide Boys.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
Scary,
You're pretty accurate though.
Nah, leave, nigga. Nah,
nigga can't get some food, bro.
In the middle of the podcast. All right.
I'll die if you want me to.
Yes, please go ahead.
Please,
it'll make for good TV.
Fuck it, drop.
Close, bro.
No. Don't,
y'all niggas is gonna, bro. Y'all not gonna speak, bro.
No, we're gonna stare at you the whole time.
All right,
yeah.
All right.
In fact, bring your roommates in there so they can roast along with us.
Bro, y'all can relax for a little bit. Nigga, 86.
You know, that's a hard question, especially if it has to be an individual. That's tough. It'd probably be So Smula, my second favorite artist, because his ad libs would just go crazy. I feel like he can fit into a lot of different aggressive types of production that I like, and he's just incredibly violent, and he has a very cool voice. So yeah, I'd probably pick Sos from City Morgue. But it is a tough question because like one that could actually happen like is Play That Boy Zay because he's like local and he's still small, so he accepts features.
I think anybody watching this will know who that is.
So he's Play That Boy Zay is he's from Miami. He's an associate of Denzel Curry. I'm sure a lot more of you will know who that is. Denzel Curry is my favorite artist. He put his boy Play That Boy Zay on, and he started to gain some traction from Denzel's fans. And he's local to us, you know, in this general area. He works with a really good producer named Rusto Black, and he would actually be fairly easy to get in touch with for a feature. So that's like my ideal like possible feature, but like my dream feature probably So Smula.
All right, that's fair. All right, Terry, saw you tear through them little bites.
Talking about 5 of them.
Fat
bro.
ass
What the fuck
niggas.
is that? What the fuck is that, bro? How you gonna put 5, bro? I paid fucking $3 for that box cut. What the fuck?
Seriously?
Bro, you went through 5 of them bitches?
No, I'm not talking about 5 in the little bag, nigga.
I know
Damn.
5 of them little muffins.
Yeah, and that
Yes.
You don't remember me in chemistry class, bro? I would nibble on them bitches.
You a savoring ass nigga. I'm hungry, bro. What the fuck? That's like going to Africa, cuz. You be like, damn, kid. Why you eating that shit so fast? I haven't eaten in a week, nigga. Like, damn, of course I'm gonna eat that bitch fast. I haven't eaten all day talking about some that fat. The bitch is this big. Little, such a bitch ass.
I mean, it's what it's on the box. It says little bites, bro. Taking little bites. You feel me?
Cause you a little bitch. Fuck you, nigga. Yeah. I want all slander today, cuz.
This man said that he really followed the instructions of the name of the food.
Before the Slender Man and Shadow Creature start fighting, we can get back on topic here.
You the hybrid! You!
All right. Feature, let me go. What's my
This man finna say Drake, Carrie.
Bro,
Amine
would hit, not Carrie. Smino feature would hit. I think,
how about,
me, Smino, or T-Pain, someone like that. Someone that could be wavy.
Say like your ideal feature, just like your dream one, and then like one that you think could actually happen.
All right, that's all right. Which one is more likely to happen? I think honestly, like as far-fetched as it would seem, like saying it out loud, I think a T-Pain one would be like the easiest one, especially compared to a Smino who's like up and coming, so like he's like always busy and shit. But like a T-Pain type person, he's old, and he'd be like, hey, like I'll fuck with you like on some, I'll just hop on your song for free type shit.
You think?
Like I don't really got anything better to do, because T-Pain, he be chilling now. He's not at the top of the game right now. And like he's good enough musically where you can learn a lot from him and just like, make some good music, because that's what it's really all about.
Okay.
Michael, Terry, if you guys were rappers for one day, what's the ideal feature to put you on the map?
Feature, it gotta be my dog Country Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick. That Kendrick feature go crazy.
Kendrick does really well on his features. And if not him, then it'd be like Kid Cudi, because like his voice would be so, I would think it'd be so good to like mix his voice in with like other different shit. Because usually I like really enjoy like the Scott song, bro. I love that song so much. I really like to like record like if I was a rapper, I'm not like an artist like y'all two boys here, but like if I was or an artist, I'd love to try and like record and like try and like make something like crazy as fuck with his voice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just really. I mean, like, if I had to choose, it would be Kendrick. Obviously, Travis Scott, I guess, wouldn't hurt too, because I think his producer team would be so lit to work with, because like his team is like,
it's lit. Sicko mode. So sicko.
Oh God, but yeah, that's basically me.
I think if I was an artist, I would I would probably want to be like have like Cole on the feature or like Joey Badass on the feature. You know what I'm saying? So solely because like one, yeah, the song would be a banger because they just them niggas. You know what I'm saying? But like also just to pick their brain. You know what I'm saying? Like
Nice.
how they go about lyrically putting these fucking poems together, bro, and how they go about living that life because they're definitely like you have your big name celebrities who do go out and do what they do. But when you got niggas like J. Cole and Joey Badass, they're definitely more lay low. We regular
B-list
niggas.
celebrity.
You
Before
know what
I
I'm saying?
started calling bitches so heavily.
You know what I'm saying? Like we regular niggas who happen to got the lyrics on us. You know, we happen to rap. They not rappers. You know what I'm saying? Like they just some cool ass dudes. I would definitely want to pick their brain into how they live, how to come up in this industry because they some cool ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want Joey Badass or J. Cole in the future.
All right. Well, I like that answer because I would want a J. Cole feature at some point too. That's some like a brain that I would definitely want to pick at my life. But shit, in terms of topics, the only topic we have left is for really Terry and then Michael because you guys know a lot about this. Deion Sanders, he got his first W as a coach. I think he was like up like 37-0 at halftime against whatever team this nigga was facing.
Blew them niggas off the field, 53 zip.
Yeah. But yeah, it seems that he's not only showing that he's still one of the like great football minds out there right now, but he's putting HBCUs on the map apparently.
Yeah.
Because
what Deion did, because like Deion Sanders, NFL legend, best corner ever. You know what I'm saying? He went to FSU. They needed a coach, so I'm like, oh, Deion Sanders wants to be a coach. He might go to FSU. You know what I'm saying? That's his school. You know what I'm saying? But I really, where the respect for me really comes in, because I already have mountains of respect for him for what he did in the NFL. Well, the respect comes from me is like he went to an HBCU in Jackson, Mississippi, of all places. Like it's not some big city. It's just Jackson, Mississippi, bro. So he goes there, and his reasoning for wanting to coach is just like, bro, I'm trying to help these kids stay off the street. You know what I'm saying? Put these kids through school, grow them into the men that they really want to be, their families want them to be. So he's in coaching solely because he loves football, one, and because he also loves nurturing these young men who are trying to find a footing in there. So like some of them won't make it to the league, you know what I'm saying? But he's trying to also just develop like men in this country who can function for themselves, and I really respect him for that. And like with a big name like Deion Sanders going to an HBCU, you know what I'm saying? More and more kids who look like us, you know what I'm saying, or more kids in general, will definitely want to go to an HBCU. Me, I'm not at one, you know what I'm saying? I definitely went to UCF, you know what I'm saying, a bigger university. But like it definitely opens the doors to like, oh, maybe HBCUs aren't so bad. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll go over there and, you know what I'm saying, get that experience. I feel like when you have such a big name, a big face go down there, and he draws like a lot of stars down there. Like NFL legends went to go watch, like Troy Aikman went to go watch his first game. You know what I'm saying? So when you get someone with that type of pull to go to like such a small market, I feel like it'll really help HBCUs in general with just admission, with sports, put them boys on the map. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I think.
Okay.
I obviously have a shit ton of respect for Deion Sanders. I played both positions while playing football, but as like a DB, I can never say Deion Sanders is the GOAT in like my eyes because like everything most DBs do, it came from him. The trash talking, the swagger, the all that, like I know there's been a lot of nights where you just sitting there watching film and like maybe your opponent, and then you just clip out of Deion Sanders highlight tape or his best moments, and you take inspiration from that. So like he's a legend in my eyes, and like it really is legend and I thought it couldn't go any higher, but him going to the HBCU in Jacksonville nowhere, because let's be honest, bro, if you aren't like dog niggas in the United States don't even know that like Jackson, Mississippi was a thing, you know what I'm saying? Let alone like outside. Deion Sanders has a lot of pull, like he does, and he'll be able to not only like bring in big recruits to an HBCU and like content, like maybe one day they'll like be like upgraded to like, not only just an NCAA, but like they'll be like maybe a top 25 team. That would be literally monumental. He's also trying to teach, young men to, how to be men and, how to like just not waste your life. Like you're going to college, you know, not just to play football, but just to like take opportunity to like, you know, expand your horizons and stuff. Like it's not like basically Terry covered everything I want to say, but like all I really gotta say is that like, and if I was going at Jackson's, I would say the same thing, like slap the maybe even these niggas' faces, bro. Like, bro, there's been a whole controversy that like Dion got his shit stolen. While coaching the game, bro. And I gotta say, like, if like y'all gotta like really like just like think smarter than this, bro. You're now in the nationals, like the national, like the whole country basically now gonna be watching you. Y'all gonna be on a huge ass radar because you did this, bro. I'm in the comment section. The first thing I'm seeing is typical colored people, typical black people, can't trust them, can't go anywhere. Of course, you guys only went to the HBCU. You know what I'm saying? What do you expect? I literally someone say, what do you expect from blacks? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm seeing that in like comment sections like ESPN and shit like that, you know, before it gets all flooded with everyone else's or before they delete it really quickly because people love commenting that and deleting it quickly like no one saw or like I guess they're trying to like, I don't know, but like, you know, you're in the public's eye and like you gotta like, I'm not saying that you gotta like be all like fancy and prissy and be like, you know, oh, the highest amount of respect. You can still play and like be yourself, but you gotta like you got someone that's literally helping out your school, bro, and you trying to like take from them. That's like one of the most like to me, that's like one of the most disrespectful things you could do. Like he not only just helping you out, but like he's gonna bring so much more money to your school. You're gonna be able to do so much more things. You know what I'm saying? And you're in the public eye where you have the opportunity to prove a lot of people wrong. That like HBCUs isn't just a place so that blacks can get like a random degree that like that like you know some people think that we don't deserve. Some if you get a degree from an HBCU, you don't deserve it because you're from an HBCU. You're just getting it because you're like black or whatever. I've seen people try and like articulate that online. You gotta like you're in an example now. You know you're gonna be an example whether you may like it or not. You are. You're basically gonna be the biggest one in the nation within a couple of weeks at this point. Because they're gonna cover every single time y'all play. So you just gotta be more like you gotta be smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? That's basically all I'm trying to say. Just don't they're like all you're doing is by like doing that is just sabotaging yourself because you ain't gonna get that far with it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna do nothing with it. So I mean, like, why would you like put yourself in a bad light and then the whole school in a bad light and then just like you know a whole community in a bad light? So that's basically all I gotta say. But I'm proud of Dion for showing that like he can actually coach because actually there's another point I gotta say. A lot of people think that former players or coaches they don't really want to give them opportunities to coach for whatever reason. Like I remember before Ed Reed came down to coach or help coach him, like help to be a part of Miami's program. He wanted to be a coach, and like, other former players wanted to too, but no one would give him like that real shot. I guess Deion Sanders was the only one that really had that pull because he was a high school coach and he was good at that too. But like you know, a lot of people don't think that like you know for whatever reason they can coach like that. But I'm glad he's proving people wrong and showing that like. He's not just an old head. It's not like John Gruden. I don't know why they compare him to John Gruden. Whatever. It's like, oh, he's an old head. Doesn't even though John Gruden is actually not even that bad of a coach because there's some terrible coaches out there that don't deserve jobs. Adam Gase, but you know, I digress. You know, I'm glad he's proven a lot of people wrong, and I'm sure he'll do very well. And I can't wait to see how they like really grow. To be honest, it's gonna be exciting.
Yeah, that is gonna be exciting. The one thing that I can say about this situation, even though I don't watch a lot of football, especially at the college level, but what I can say about Deion Sanders is what he's doing in terms of, you know, he's retired and going back and helping people that like he was once as a kid, like, you know, someone that's in need of help going back to an HBCU in the middle of nowhere and helping these students like learn the game of football and give them some early success so maybe they can make it to the league. And if you see any of these kids that are on his team right now make it to the league, you know, that's a beautiful story in itself. And, you know, I appreciate that type of that person. Like it takes a big person to do something like that with their free time. So shout out Deion Sanders for that.
Definitely.
You want to add anything, Terry?
No, not really. I would just say that, you know, Deion Sanders definitely got that pull. Like someone stole his boombox. Nigga got that shit in the next week. Like he got it back in the next week. He put out a little video. He's like, "Hey, you in Jackson, Mississippi? Help me find my boombox. Got that bit in a week." So I was like, definitely Deion Sanders is that dude. And yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, anybody got any recommendations for this?
Recommendations time. Oh,
It's recommendations time.
Well, we've already been going on for long enough. Gotta fucking merge all these long ass clips. My recommendation. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet. Jujutsu Kaisen came out this Friday, but that was my recommendation for last week. So like, anime that gets overshadowed because it also comes out on Fridays. I'm gonna go with Dr. Stone, bro. Boys gotta get on that Dr. Stone hype. That shit is so fire, bro. But that's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Stone, season 2, going brazy every Friday.
Nick, you got a recommendation?
Yeah. Last time I recommended music. I'm gonna recommend clothes this time. So, Terry and I, we got the Plague Boulevard shirts, bro. Lil Darky collab. So like Plague Boulevard is probably one of my favorite brands. They do a lot of work with like underground rappers like Lil Darky, Spider Gang. So like last podcast I was wearing a A14 Plague Boulevard hoodie. Like they're doing their thing. They're about to do a drop tomorrow, but I guess this podcast comes out later than tomorrow.
A week later.
They're doing a cartoon classics drop. So yeah, if there's still anything left in the store, you should go mess with it. Plague Boulevard on IG.
Okay. Michael, you got your recommendation?
All I'm gonna say is if you watch your anime to like. Oh wait, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
If you follow anime, you want your anime to like go anywhere, bro, just support the mangaka or the person who's making it. You know what I'm saying? There's too many times I'm seeing like a manga that's like it has a really great premise and it just get cut short because, especially if it's a shonen, because Shonen Jump shows no mercy. If that shit ain't cut, if that's not even just cut, if that shit ain't on the wave it wants to, it'll cut you within a second. So like just support not only them, but like just like any artist you really fuck with, like obviously it's cool to like, oh, I can like illegally stream this, I can get this, you know what I'm saying? But like if you really want your shit to go somewhere, or really want somebody to like really not just blow up, but just be okay financially and stable, financially and shit, support them. That's it.
All right. My recommendation for the week then. If you haven't watched the Tintin movie, and you can watch a TV show that's on YouTube. Like they have like hella playlists of just the old TV show that I grew up with. So fuck anime. Watch Tintin. That's the all leaves, bro.
All right. Glizzy smoking ass boy.
Boo.
Terry, that was so sus, man.
What you talking about?
Y'all didn't hear what this man just said?
That's wild. You see how you tripping? That's what
Wait, what did he say?
That's because you got German in your name, cuz. That's why you tripping right now. Crazy.
He said he was gonna put his diggy on my
Nick, you wildin', that's crazy.
Terry's so sus though.
Ooh.
Transformable.